Hey gang, my name is Matthew Wayne Selznick, and this is episode 4 of Writing Light, or Writing Light of the Outsider, the weekly video podcast where I update my progress on writing my second novel, Light of the Outsider, and provide, I guess, a little behind the scenes into the writing of that book and what I've learned in the preceding week. Since we last spoke, I wrote 3,631 words for an average of about 907 words per day. I wrote 4 days out of the last week. There are 63 days left. The goal is to finish the first draft of Light of the Outsider by the end of April 2011. We are at a total of 19,198 words, almost a quarter of the way through. And right now, at my current rate, I need to do 965 words per day in order to reach my estimated total of 80,000 words on this first draft. First draft might be more, might be less, hard to say. This week, I think the main thing that kind of occurred to me is that I'm discovering little holes and little quirks as I go along. Now, a few episodes back, I had talked about how this book was outlined ahead of time. That I outlined roughly the first 1/2 to 2/3, depending on which character we're talking about. This has been good because I really have a strong roadmap of where I want to go, but what's interesting is I discovered this week that some of the turns on that roadmap are, well, they're I won't say wrong turns, but they're certainly taking the story on a path that might not be the best choice. Now, I'm not going to read an example this week. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but basically what happened is I realized that some characters were making bad choices that served the plot and moved the plot along, but didn't make sense from the character's point of view, or even any rational person's point of view. Kind of like in the bad horror movie where the killer is in the tool shed, so you have to get your teenage couple to go make out in the tool shed because that way one of them or both of them will die and the movie will keep going. When in reality, you know, if you're at a summer camp and you're a couple of teenagers and you want to make out, there's probably a lot more fun places to do it than a small cramped building with a bunch of sharp objects in it. That's kind of the problem I discovered that I had created for myself in Light of the Outsider as I was writing this week. I'm typing along and going, wait, you know what? These characters would have to be brain damaged to make this choice. And so I was presented with a choice myself. Do I fix this now? Do I change things utterly? Do I write something in that makes this seemingly crazy choice make sense? Or do I save that for later? And by later, I mean after the entire first draft is written. What I ultimately decided is to wait until after the first draft is written. I made a note, you know, make this silly decision make sense or change it, and I moved on, kept writing. I'm experiencing a little bit of the difficulty with keeping the momentum going. So the last thing I want to do is stop, fix something now, and then and kind of break what momentum I've got. However, I'm not opposed to every day when I start writing, going back and reading what I'd written the previous day and making small tweaks, small edits, cleaning up a sentence here or there. Some people will say that the editing mind and the writing mind are two different things and you should keep them as separate as possible, to just turn the editor off as you're writing that first draft and just keep plowing through. For me, when I first sit down for the day to write my 1,000 words, hopefully, that I need to do, it kind of helps to get into the mindset of writing for me to go back and tinker a little bit at what I had written the day before. If there's small changes, like change this passive voice sequence into an active voice sequence, or move a comma here or there, then I'll do it right then and there. If it's a larger thing, like why in the hell are these characters acting like idiots, then I'll make a note, change later. So what about you? Do you edit as you go? Small edits, large edits, big tweaks, small tweaks? Or do you really have the discipline when you write to keep that first draft writing only mindset as you're plowing through? I would like to know. Also, I would like to know whether you are interested in these insights that I kind of come across that I can share with you every week when we record this, or if you're more interested in me reading excerpts from what I've written in the previous week. Reading excerpts takes a good chunk of time, and I am consciously trying to make these episodes shorter. So I feel like, with rare exceptions, I can only do one or the other. We can talk about a particular aspect of the writing, or I can actually read something from what I've written. Not sure we can do both. I'm depending on you, dear viewer, to let me know what you would prefer. We have a small audience so far, but some of you, a small fraction of that small audience, are very vocal. I'd like to hear from as many of you as possible. If you watch this, you must have an opinion about it, so please let me know. The other thing is, let's be honest, part of the reason I'm doing this is to build interest and excitement in the eventual release of Light of the Outsider. I need your help to please spread the word. Many of you watch this video on Facebook, on facebook.com/matthew.wayne.selznick.creates. Please do share the video on your own Facebook wall. If you watch it on YouTube, share it and like it and add it to a playlist. Comment on it there at YouTube. And of course, if you are seeing it on my blog, please feel free to comment there and press the like button on the post there. It's important that you spread the word and that your voice is heard regarding this video podcast, Writing Light. I need to know that you folks are interested in this, and I need your help in spreading the word so that other people are interested in it. So that's what you can do for me. Two things. Let me know if you're a writer, and I assume that most of you are. Do you, during your first draft, plow through and keep that writing mind? Or do you let the editor mind slip in, do small changes, big changes, while you're in the process of crafting that first draft? I'd like to know that. And the second thing is, please spread the word. Embed the videos on your blog, share them on Facebook, favorite them, comment on them, like them, capital L-I-K-E. Do what you can to sort of spread the word about Light of the Outsider. And that's it. My name is Matthew Wayne Selznick. This has been episode 4 of Writing Light, or Writing Light of the Outsider. Thank you very, very much for your continued watching and support. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.